So today's video is about intermittent fasting. It's been trending for a while, but it's not a trend. Intermittent fasting is what humans used to do in the past before we discovered electricity and before we started having a lot of abundance in our food supply. So we used to eat and then fast for a long period and then eat again. So there was a long period of rest for the intestine, for the digestive system, so that there wouldn't be too much inflammation, and whatever you ate used to be processed properly, and the fat and the glucose that you accumulated you could burn out before you ate again. And this used to happen automatically every day because people used to stop eating when it was sunset. The idea was that it's difficult to eat in the dark, and so people wouldn't eat after sunset. Now, after we've discovered electricity and after we've become more abundant in our food sources, we've started eating later and later in the day, and this has led to us spending more and more time in a fed state where we've filled up our stomachs, and it's not getting fully digested, and the food that we've absorbed hasn't fully been used before you feed yourself again. So now we have this trend of intermittent fasting, and my point is that it is not a trend. We just have to return to the way we used to eat in the ancestral manner, where we stop eating at sunset and we have a breakfast that's slightly later in the day. So if you have a dinner at 6 o'clock in the evening or 6:30 in the evening, you wait till 6 o'clock in the morning, which is 12 hours, and then another 4 hours. So that takes you to 16 hours, which is 10 a.m. So dinner at 6 p.m. and a breakfast the next day at 10 a.m. This would give you a 16-hour fasting window and an 8-hour feeding window. And in these 8 hours, you can eat twice or thrice or more, but the less frequently you eat, the easier it is going to be to lose weight. So most of my patients are on a 2-day, two meal a day plan. So you have a breakfast and a dinner, and there's no snacking in between. You can have tea or coffee without sugar, without milk. You can have lime juice with salt, but any liquid is fine as long as it's not a high calorie liquid. So avoid fruit juices, avoid sugary drinks, and tea and coffee and green tea, all of those are fine. And you can drink as much water as you want. You can consume as much salt as you want in between. And if you do this, then you lose weight quicker, you burn fat better, and you can even reverse early diabetes, and you can reduce your cholesterol, and you can reduce your weight. Now, if it is someone who's used to eating late in the night, 10 p.m. for example, and they suddenly decide to go to a 6 p.m. dinner, they're going to have that 6 p.m. dinner, and then they're going to get hungry, and then they're going to eat again at 10. So that is defeating the purpose. So instead of going from a 10 p.m. dinner, you go to a 9 p.m. dinner for a few weeks, get used to that, then go to 8 p.m., get used to that for a few weeks, then go to 7 p.m., 6 p.m. So you get the drift. And once you start eating at 6 p.m., you need to make sure that you sleep early. Make sure that you sleep by around 10 p.m. at least, because any further than that and you'll get hungry and you'll be forced to eat again. The other problem that some people face when they have an early dinner is that their stomach is empty and they find it difficult to sleep. This is usually temporary, and as they get used to it, as they get used to having an early dinner, they'll find that their sleep quality is better with an empty stomach. You might find that the duration of your sleep has reduced, but the depth and the quality of your sleep would have improved. So it's worth trying. Now, if eating a dinner too early is disrupting your sleep, then it might not be best suited for you, and you'll have to taper. You'll have to start eating earlier and earlier in a more gradual manner. So instead of going from 10 p.m. to 9 p.m. in 2 weeks, you might need to take a month to get from 10 p.m. to 9 p.m. And as you get more and more fat adapted, you might be able to move to a earlier dinner. So you'll have to watch your sleep, the quality of your sleep and the depth of your sleep, to make sure that you're not losing sleep because you're fasting too early in the day. So this is just the first part of a series that I'm hoping to post about intermittent fasting. So if you've got doubts, please put them in the comments so that I can have follow-up videos. In summary, I'd like to say once again, having a break of a 16 hours between your dinner and next day's breakfast is a good idea. Having 2 meals is a good idea. And having tea, coffee, or lime juice with salt in between is fine. Having as much water in between is fine, but try not to snack. The less frequently you eat, the healthier you are. And this is our introduction to intermittent fasting. So there will be further follow-up videos on intermittent fasting depending on the questions I get in the comments. Thank you.